I'm Robert Williams from MetalRules.com, and joining me today in Austin, Texas for the 2013 South by Southwest Festival are the lovely and hard-rocking ladies from Sweden's Crucified Barbara. How are you doing today?
Good. Yeah, really good. We finally got here. It was a long flight to come from Sweden, Stockholm to get here, but finally we're here and we're going to play.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it feels really good.
So tell me about how Crucified Barbara was formed. I understand you initially had more of a punk influence to your music in the early days. How did you all meet up and end up jamming together?
It's a long story. We all started music in different bands before we met each other, and it was more like of a coincidence that we met, and we just felt that we had a good thing. And from the beginning, as you said, it was more punk influenced maybe, and grunge, because that's what we kind of grew up with. And when you're not extremely good at your instrument, then it's easier to play those type of 3-chord
I only
songs.
wanted to play the grunge, like 3 chords.
Yeah,
that kind of music was the beginning, so that was what we wanted to do. And then we got more influences from all different kinds of metal and rock. And
yeah, as soon as we kind of discovered music and that you're able to play and you find your instrument, and of course you want to develop, and we started listening to other things. And when the 3 of us started, before we met Mia, we had another singer, and it was more like a hobby, kind of fun thing to do on your spare time. But then it got more serious, and then we hooked up with you, and we felt more that we...
13 years ago.
Yeah, that we found our sound, kind of. And it's just been, yeah, better and better for every year and every album, so...
Like a good old wife.
Yeah.
Who would you name as being your primary musical influences when the band originally formed?
It was Nirvana.
Yes, it was. Since we, as I said, grew up during the 90s.
In the grunge movement?
Yeah,
I think that was the band, and Hole and those kind of bands that made us all like start to want to play by ourselves. Like, I want to play guitar, and when I plugged in a guitar, I got to try. It's like, wow, I can actually sound like the records, like even one tone. I think it's for real, you know. So it was Nirvana, I think.
Yeah, for me too. And then of
for
course,
all of us, even before we knew each other,
yeah,
started out that era.
So your third album, The Midnight Chase, was released this past May, and here you are today in Austin, Texas, kicking off the band's U.S. tour here at the South by Southwest Festival. You must be real excited to perform for all your American fans again. How's that feel?
Yeah, we've never been here. It's like the first time, so we're so excited.
Yeah.
Finally, we got here. We've been on our way for many years. But
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was, I think part of it, since we released this record on Nuclear Blast, we got better distribution and everything. But we've been like wanting to go here for so long, and now it's finally happening, so it feels kind of unreal.
I know we've had like fans who's been on us since the first release, 2005, like, you have to come over, and now they're really happy to see us, and we're happy to see them, so it's great.
Of course.
Waiting for a long time, so it's cool.
So y'all mentioned Nirvana and Hole as being some American bands that influenced you. Who are some other American bands that y'all like?
Oh, there's plenty. I don't even know where to start. I like a lot of different things. I love Motorhead. We did a tour with them some years ago, and I think it's... I know that's an English band, but bands in general, what type of bands do you like? But Tool, I love Tool. Listened to them just the other day, and they're so... Oh, Guns N' Roses, one of my all-time favorite bands.
Well, very exciting to have you all over here. So you maintained a pretty high profile these last several years, opening for bands like Motorhead, as you said, Sepultura, Duro, performing alongside Black Sabbath and Velvet Revolver at the Download Festival, even an appearance at the Swedish National Eurovision Song Contest Finals. When did you start the songwriting process for The Midnight Chase, and how long did it take for everything to eventually all come together?
I think we started to write on it like 2 years before the release, like starting to like, okay, we have not every day, you know, but we start to gather ideas and lyrics and rehearse a bit between all tours and things, but I think we worked really focused on it for 1 year. And the last 3 months before we rehearsed like every day, and we wrote a lot of songs in that period as well, together in the rehearsal, because we write in many different ways, but that's last 3 months we wrote a lot of good songs together, like Everything We Need, and it was your idea from the beginning, the lyrics, but we put it all together in there. Yeah. So.
I think we're good under pressure. I think that's the same thing for a lot of bands. Once you have a deadline, you really...
For every
buckle
human
down.
being.
Get it done.
Yeah, but about 2 years.
So you recorded The Midnight Chase at Music-O-Matic Vintage Recording Studio in Gothenburg with producer Chip Keesby. Tell me about working with Chip on the new album, what you feel he brought to your sound in terms of production. Were you going for a more vintage sound on The Midnight Chase?
Yeah, we wanted a more like back to the roots sound, like more dirt and not too... We don't like the... We don't want to be like a modern rock band. We don't like the modern sound that is so popular today. Maybe it's the wrong way to go, but we don't play to follow the stream. So since he's a great rock and roll producer, we want to work with him. And he's also totally against like using. He wants an organic sound, like the drums are real sound from the drums, not a lot of triggers. And the amps should be the real amps, you know.
So this was all analog?
The sound engineer,
he messed it all up.
He put on. No, he's a crazy person when it comes to collecting microphones and stuff.
Oh wow!
Like the Swedish radio sold out on all their really old stuff from the 50s until nowadays when you use everything digital. So he bought all that kind of stuff. And
he collects like old microphones from boats, like alarm, like SOS microphones,
Signal,
and like weird things, and put all of them on the amps, like recording from all of the microphones, and then they choose
the best.
Without knowing if it was this boat microphone recording the amp or the expensive one from brand new one.
He even had one when we recorded the drums in the kitchen just outside the bathroom, so nobody could go to the toilet while recording the drums. No, but what we wanted to do was just to break it down, was to make it more dynamic, a live sound, or more live feeling to it, and I think we had a great communication.
Yeah, it was good to work with him. It's really good to like. We finished almost all the demos, like, and then he got him to listen to us. He wanted if you had some ideas to changes or something, but it was not much. He had to change like shorten one verse or take some parts away.
Yeah, he took the best out of us without taking over and making it into his thing.
Great.
More dynamics, more peaks and valleys, less compression. Sounds like a good thing.
Both microphones.
Both microphones.
So you've got some great song titles on the new record, like Rock Me Like the Devil, Into the Fire, Rules and Bones. What are some of the things that you feel influenced you lyrically for the songs on The Midnight Chase?
It's a lot of, it's like, you say it's life that's inspiring. And most of the time when I write, we all write lyrics, but I write maybe most of it, you put them all together. And of course it's easiest to write a lyric when you have some big emotions going on, like frustration, aggression, sadness, powerful feelings.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline, those kind of things. And it could be relationships or going on tour or playing the guitar, get a feeling for it. So, yeah.
I think you want to relate to what you sing so that it feels real.
Yeah. Always have even if some lyrics, especially on the old albums, might sound a bit cliche. They're not like, I never write rock and roll cliche lyrics like just I want to rock and roll and have fun and let's rock all night. I don't like that kind of writing. So if we have some kind of lyrics like that, it's a meaning behind it. Maybe ironic or.
So on your last album, Till Death Do Us Party, you worked with producer and metal veteran Mats Levin, who ended up lending some vocals to the song Jennifer. Tell me about working with Mats. How did that all come about?
Yeah, it was great. We didn't know how he was as a producer because he's normally not a producer. He's a great singer, and he haven't produced any albums like this before, like having the role. But we've been talking to him during many years, like want to do something together, because I have admired him for a very long time for his way of making music and singing, and feels like he's got something that I want. And when we were searching for a producer, we had some ideas, and I came up with, like, why don't we ask Mats if we can do it? And he got the demos and listened to it, and we had a meeting, and he said, I think you should do this and that, and this song you can do. He had great input, and we felt that he can be a really good one to work with, so we gave it a try, and it worked very well on that.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask you, you've been with Nuclear Blast Records for about a year now, and everyone out there in the industry knows they're one of the biggest labels for metal in the world. How has it been working with Nuclear Blast? Do you feel like they're getting your name out there and promoting the band?
Yeah, they've done a great job for us, I think. We were so happy to work with them. And it's so cool that you, in communication with them, they're so nice people, and you can feel they're in it for real, you know.
Yeah, they are music lovers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they do it for the right reason, and it feels so right for us to have to work with a label like that. We have, for the other releases, we have been talking to big labels, but they always have this. You can feel that they want something different, they want to change us in some way, you have opinions of producers or and of course you can have that, but you have to be on the right level when you talk about things. Not like, okay girls, if you want to be on this label, you gotta have this producer, or you have this songwriter, you have to do this and that. It's like not the right way to work, I think. So
not if you want to do what's true to your heart,
no,
which
so,
is play our music.
I think this album shows that we are on the right way. We're still like getting better, I think, and this is the best one, and I'm really happy that Nuclear Blast thinks so too. Wanted to release it, so we're looking for a long future together.
Yeah.
So tell me, after the current U.S. tour you're about to embark on wraps up, what else y'all got planned for the rest of the year?
We got lots of plans. We're gonna do a tour in Europe in May, and we have some Sweden gigs, and we got some festivals. We're doing Sonisphere in France, and that's gonna be great.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, and for the we're talking about going back to South America again in the fall, hopefully.
Great.
Yeah, it's great to go there in like November.
Yeah, I want to go there again. It's like this kind of weather.
Y'all been there before?
You were there in November.
Yeah, November.
No, October.
October, November.
And
for the first
fall.
time, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we were there for like 2 weeks and did 6 or 7 shows, and when we didn't play, we hung out at the beach drinking caipirinhas.
Yeah. No, it was great. So I had a lot of plans, and we also have to start thinking about new songs. So
Yeah,
it's like a wheel, always growing.
Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to talk metal. Any last words for your fans watching at home?
we love you.
I'm so glad to be here.